Hey, how's it going everybody? Gribnum here, back again with another Raid Shadow Legends video. And today I've got an Arbais the Stonethorn showcase. Been a minute since I've done an actual champion showcase here. Got kind of caught up in all the other new content. But here is one of my favorite visually looking champions in the game. I pulled this champion about a month or so ago, like almost 2 months ago. Check out that video if you haven't already to get my reaction there to pulling my second Mythical here. I've already got Frolny, and I think Frolny looks awesome as well. But Arbais with this green, teal, seafoam green color skin here is honestly one of my favorite looks in the game with the white mask. Now this is a mask. You can kind of tell. If you get really close, you can see some eyes under there. So there's another face under that mask, right? Will we ever get to see that? I don't know. But then you metamorph Arbais here, and she turns into this open birch tree, this kind of tree here. I don't know what kind it is, but really cool. And there is another tree added to the game that has this kind of stance called Fearall. He is more like a pine tree, like a Christmas pine tree. But when I pulled this champion, I was like, hell yeah, I got a top tier mythical. People were doubting Frolny, saying Frolny's not worth using as much as some of the other mythicals, and then I showed a video on that, so check out that Frolny video on why you might want to use Frolny and how to use him. I have made a video on that. But Arbais, when I got her, I said, holy shit, now I have one of the more sought after mythicals, and I'm about to find out why, because she used to dominate against me in the arena. But when I started using her and I built her, I started realizing, hold on a second, I'm not really dominating. I'm not doing a whole lot against these teams. What am I missing here? It didn't click for me right away, and I wasn't sure if I liked her, to be honest, after using her for a little bit. But I'm happy to say, after some extensive use, that I am now biased to the Arbais. I can now say what I like about her and where to use her in the game. So, stay tuned through this video. I'm going to show you where I use her, where she's good, and what is great about her kit, okay? Because there is a lot of great things about her kit that I do enjoy that I wasn't sure about at first. Now, as you can see, here's the build that I have. I have a list of things I want to go over for her with you guys. So the build here took me a minute. I wasn't sure what the hell to do. I think I tried a few different things at first, but I settled on, accuracy, of course, and some speed with some HP if I could get it. Because, I mean, she's a support champion. I don't know if she... Yeah, so she attacks with attack-based, and then she switches over to HP. Now, I would absolutely prioritize her survivability over her damage, and that's the case here. So, accuracy and survivability with some speed is a great combo to have there. You don't want to build her for damage with the attack. I don't know why they didn't just make this first form based on HP as well. But let's take a look at these stats here. So, got 90,000 HP. That's pretty solid. Pretty solid, especially when you gotta work with a mythical here. All this could be way better than it is. If I could get better gear, that'd be awesome. 313 speed. I'm happy with that. Would love to get 3,500, maybe 4,000 defense. Would love to see that. Crit rate, I don't think it needs to be capped, but I wouldn't really focus on it too much. You're really trying to land those debuffs and provide support to your team with this champion. I'll tell you about that just in a sec here. So accuracy wise, it could be higher, but when you're trying to make sure you've got everything here in one build, it is pretty difficult. Now, I've got crit rate, accuracy. I could actually go back through here and find some better pieces that don't have as much crit rate, because I'm already not worrying about it, right? This one's got a lot of speed. This one could be better, so I might even look for a better weapon here at some point. HP on the gauntlet, right? HP on the chest, important to have with accuracy. You could go an accuracy chest if you wanted to. Not a bad idea. But you definitely want something with an HP percentage as well. This doesn't have any accuracy, but it's got some good speed. I think that's why I went with it. Also missing accuracy on this boot, but I do have a speed ascension on it, so why not moving over to the accessories here. Now I have HP Ascension, and HP on the substat. Make sure you have as much HP as possible if you haven't noticed already. An HP amulet with as much accuracy as you can get. Okay, so that's what I did here. As much accuracy as I could find on an HP amulet. And this is a really, really good banner for her. Honestly, I don't know. I'm sure there's way better. I got the 2 rolls where you didn't want it. Would have been nice if I had at least 1 extra roll in speed and then another one in the HP percent here. But as far as accuracy goes, with speed, this is a fantastic piece for a Sylvan Watcher. So, got lucky there. Now let's go over Arbais' skills. So her first attack is going to throw off a block active skills, right? So there's a chance that she lands block active skills, and you can ignore 20% of the enemy's resistance. That's an awesome thing to have bookable on champions, and I guess it's only for mythicals. But this is really nice to really just lock people out from their abilities, so they can't do their A2, A3, A4, any of that stuff. Now, the A2 here is great against, I guess, any team that's got like Wukong, who's got like Sify, who's got just any of these people who are putting up a lot of buffs. Your chance of stealing all the buffs, not stealing but removing, is astronomical with this champion. You're gonna steal and remove all those buffs and place the revive on death, right? And it's really awesome that this revive on death is on her kit with the passive, because here in the passive, anytime your champions get attacked while they have revive on death, the enemy champions will get petrified. There's a chance, 30% chance to land that. So this is the second champion that I know of in the game, other than Mythical here, who places a petrification, right? If somebody has a hex debuff on them and they attack you, they're gonna get petrified. So this is like, there's like a bit of a debuff, buff kind of synergy with them. You could run them both together in the same team if you wanted to, because with Arbais, this is a buff placed on you, and if you get attacked, then there's a chance that the enemy gets provoked. With Mythical, that's a debuff you have to place on the enemy, and sometimes you can't place a debuff on an enemy, but you can always place a buff on yourself. Well, you know what I mean. You can almost always guarantee that. Now, moving on. Oh, that's on a 3-turn cooldown as well, and I have this booked. Just about everything on her booked. Increases the duration of all ally buffs as well by 1 turn. That's something I always forget she even has. Moving on here, we have fills the turn meter of all allies by 30%. Now that 30% is fantastic. That's insane. I think that is the same amount that you can do from, yeah, so Arbiter does about the same percent, and I think there's other champions who can do it as well. So 30% from Arbiter. So you could pair Arbiter and Arbais on the same team and get your whole squad going as fast as possible, or get their turn meter up to max. Now I like to run Arbais with a Kaja. Kaja's my new favorite thing in the game, and let's see. So Kaja will actually do a 20% turn meter fill. Pretty nice either way. But Arbais here does that 20% or 30% turn meter fill, increases the attack buff and increased accuracy buff on all allies for 2 turns. This is on a 4-turn cooldown. Would have liked to see it on a 3, but it is really solid. I like using this to boost up my team's accuracy more than the attack. So giving my team more accuracy. Let's say I got Kaja, Arbais, Timit, right, on the same team. Now Timit has a lot of accuracy as well, but he's going to need that boost with the buff. Now he only gets the boost of accuracy on his A3, and if you're using Timit correctly, you'll actually want to open with the A2. So you're not getting the accuracy to decrease the enemy buffs until after you've already used his A2. So Arbais will go first, and then Timit has a better chance of removing all those buffs on the enemy first, right? But if you don't remove all the buffs with Timit, in my case, You do have this one, of course. We just talked about the A2. Will remove all the buffs as well. So a lot of chances to just take buffs away from enemies, right? Really nice stuff to see. Then, of course, talk about the passive. The aura is really nice. A 25 speed buff in all battles. You don't really see that good of speed buff in all battles. Usually it's like 25% in arena, 25% in Doom Tower, in Faction Wars, you know, stuff like that. But it's all battles for this case. Now, I put her in Temporal Chains. This is mainly for the accuracy. There's only a few good blessings that provide accuracy. I mean, here's one, but it's not really what you'd be looking for. Accuracy, no. Let's see, what else do we have? Resistance would be great, but you really want to find something with accuracy, right? So then there's also Smite, which is really nice. You can put her in Smite if you want to, but I put her in Temporal Chains. What does it say? Decreases enemies' speed for each active buff they are under. So, fantastic. Works perfectly for her. They're going to buff themselves up, but also decrease their own speed because I have Temporal Chains on. And I'm also going to remove those buffs with the A2, right? So you can kind of work this in with her build. I think this is a perfect buff blessing to have her in, right? Now moving on, let's take a look at the masteries real fast. You can do a whole lot here. You can even make her an attack-based like attacker. You know, give her the crit rate, crit damage, all that stuff. But I went with the resist and the accuracy on this, and increase the amount of healing and shield. So she does have healing and all that stuff. I'll show you in just a moment. Decrease the damage received by this champion, okay? But the main thing you want to focus on is this support side, right? So you're getting the accuracy, more accuracy, even more accuracy here. Turn meter boost whenever buffs are removed. You can even grab the other one here if you wanted to, for when debuffs are removed. So buffs expiring gives you 10%. And then you got the Lore of Steel. I guess Cycle of Magic. I didn't know what else to grab here. You could have went with, instead of Cycle of Magic, you could go with Delay Death here. And then, of course, I think this is very essential to Arbais' kit. Definitely want to grab this if you can. Grab both Lasting Gifts and Hex Master Hexer. But finish off with the Eagle Eye, in my opinion. Alright, now let's go over to the Metamorph side here. On the Metamorph side, we have an A1 that's going to put a continuous heal buff on everybody, but also has a chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 30%. Did I say... Yeah, wait. Oops, I messed up. So, yep, decrease the turn meter of the target by 30%, but also place a continuous heal buff on herself and the ally with the lowest HP. So, you're getting a little bit of healing on this. I wouldn't actually say that it's residual it's healing that that is utilized by this ability, because a continuous heal buff I don't think is the same as this champion healing them. I don't know, but I like that it decreases the turn meter of somebody by 30%. You could just keep decreasing someone's turn meter and never let them take a turn. If they're like a slow champion, you know, let's say you're fighting up against a Harima and she's about to go, you throw this on her and you decrease her turn meter, right? So this is a good ability, but I don't think this is one of her best. Obviously, when you Metamorph, one of the first things you're going to go straight into is her A3, which is going to throw up a taunt, a stone skin, which is insane that you have a champion here who can stone skin herself, right? Now, let me tell you real quick why this is super important to grab Lasting Gifts. You can actually take the, let's see, the 1-turn stone skin and the 1-turn taunt. Make sure that's right. Not taunt. But you can take the 1-turn stone skin and turn it into a 2-turn stone skin with Lasting Gifts. So make sure you get Lasting Gifts Mastery, so you can get a 2-turn stone skin at, you know, random chance whenever you use this ability, right? So fantastic ability, and you're placing 2 continuous heal buffs on all allies for 2 turns. So you're getting a lot of healing, and you're also going to try to control the fight by making sure everybody focuses on you. Fantastic ability. So this is great, but one of my favorites for her is this ability, her A2 in her second form, is going to place a leech and an HP burn on all enemies. And that's really all it is. That's it. You know, 3-turn cooldown, just HP burn and leech. Fantastic to jump in here and, you know, save yourself from dying and protect your team. Now, coming over to the passive here, when attacked, 30%, place a 30% decreased speed buff on the attacker for 2 turns. Also decreases the damage taken by all allies. So while you're in this second form, you're receiving 20% less damage to all your allies, and she is actually absorbing that damage as well. It's a lot like this mastery here. So decreases all damage by 5%. Also, where is it? I thought there was another one. Also kind of like Selfless Defender, right? Now, my favorite abilities of hers is, of course, when I'm on the offensive, right? And I'm trying to boost up my turn meter and increase my accuracy. So Wukong or Timid can remove buffs, right? They all do it. They all do it. Wukong, Timid, Arbais, they're all stealing buffs, removing buffs. They all do it. So this is great to get them going because I built her fast. And then I guess you could go into this if you know the team doesn't have anything to remove your revive on death and you know you can petrify them. This would be a great second move to use. You honestly are almost never going to use the A1. You're barely going to use the A1 is what I'm trying to say. Because after you use the A3, A2, you might be metamorphing and then placing the taunt and stone skin on yourself. If you feel like a Rhodos is about to hit you, this stone skin taunt combo is good against a Rhodos. Let's say they banned your ultimate death knight and Rhodos is coming in, you may want to do this ability and stop that, okay? If you don't really need to use the stone skin or taunt, I personally do like the HP burn. Come in here with that. But also the decreased speed is also a good counter for anyone who's going to be doing AoE hits on you. Really nice. And I'll show you how this all works into her abilities and against bosses right now, actually. So we talked about the build, the masteries, the blessing. I have one key available left on Faction Wars, so I want to jump in on Faction Wars and show you guys that as well. So I got lucky. I was gonna do this video, and then I was like, wait a second. There's actually a Faction Wars going on right now for the Sylvan Watchers. So this is a perfect time to show this off. You see all my team there. I got Emic. I got Ayla. I got Wyron. I got Creodan. So we saw. This just runs on auto, but we see Arbais there. She did her A3, then she does her A2, and you see there's the block active skill. So now nobody can use any of their abilities, just about. Now, one thing I want to say with this Mythical versus Frolny, this Mythical, I can put on a auto team and just let it run. Because she's got great abilities either way she does, right? And I wouldn't say she needs to be in one specific form during. Well, she does actually, but I would say this champion does not need to be manualed as much as Frolny needs to be manualed. Okay, I'm probably never gonna put Frolny on like my arena defense because you need to manual Frolny. You really do, unless you just want him to sit in his second form the whole time. Otherwise, Frolny needs to be manualed. Our bias can kind of be set on auto. Yeah. I guess the reason is, with Frolny, there's reasons why you'd be in the second form and why you'd come out of the second form that you can't really preset that well. But with our bias, I could just make her metamorph and stay in her second form the whole time, and it would be totally fine, right? And I'll show you why I do that. Why there's reasons that she'll be in her second form or her first form for any reason. And that's mainly because, you know, hey, this boss, is easily killed with HP burn, or hey, this boss can get decreased speed put on them. So Arbais can decrease speed, can put HP burn on, or hey, that other part of her passive where she absorbs 20% of the damage and everyone else takes 20% less. That's also why. So hey, maybe I'll use her against Sand Devil, where she could place an HP burn on the boss, but also she can reduce the amount of damage that everybody takes. And that's kind of the one reason why I put her there, is she has good abilities, but she also can reduce the damage. Now here's the boss here on this stage. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. All right, we're further along in this fight here. The boss did kill Creodan, and you can tell I don't have any reviver on the team here, but with Arbais's revive on death, he came right back alive. And it's really interesting, I must say, that Arbais has not metamorphed at all. I was actually thinking she would have. You know what I mean? I was thinking she would have at least metamorphed by now or done something, but I guess there are parameters that make her do so and make her not do it, which is fine. She doesn't need to be metamorphed right now. I think it would just slow down the fight, to be honest. So here we're about to beat the boss, and yeah, so this is a really easy faction wars to complete. Arbais not really much of an MVP here. I mean, she was boosting accuracy and boosting turn meter, but I think once you have Emic, and like I think Emic and Arbais could have literally done this by themselves, to be honest. But really good, really good. Not the best time, on there. So we did faction wars. I want to show you that I use her in Iron Twins as well, right? I have 2 keys left for Iron Twins. Now the reason I have her in Iron Twins, and I'll show you exactly what I do with the preset here, is I go straight into the Metamorph, and I keep her in the Metamorph, and her main thing is the HP burn. I took, what's his name? I took Geo off, and Geomancer. I took Geomancer off. I don't know. I just was like, all right, I'm done with using the epics for this. I can get away with having legendary. So I took Geomancer off. She's gonna be the HP burn champion here. And yeah, what's also great is when the boss attacks, I have decreased speed. So I didn't have to rely on bringing my 2 Hanorok or someone else. These guys can just get it done, right? So here you'll see that in just a moment. You'll see the decreased speed and the HP burn. There it is. Decreased speed on the boss right away, and it's very consistent. So a lot of times with 2 Hanorok, she just doesn't land it because I think you need to have crit rate max essentially just for 2 Hanorok to be consistently landing hers, but sometimes she doesn't at all. I don't know. But with Arbais, it didn't even say that there was a chance. It just says places a 30% decreased speed. So this is a very consistent decreased speed on the Iron Twins. Now I'd imagine if you have Arbais, you might not be struggling against Iron Twins, but this is a great option to use to fill that decreased speed spot, right? And I wonder if you could use Haja here instead of Duchess. Definitely would like to have someone on the team who can cleanse your debuffs here, but they are doing just fine. And who has the smite? So smite is very important as well. Oh yeah, Kymar in smite. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. All right, we're almost done here. I also wanted to show off the ratings and everything on the Hell Hades website for Arbais. I forgot to do that at the beginning, so I'm going to show that right after this fight's over. The Arbais ratings and all that stuff. Cool. So 2 minutes 13 seconds. Not the fastest, but it works. We got Arbais healing a lot, and actually blocking a lot of damage. So you see this defense number, so she's blocking a lot of damage from the boss. Yeah, it's really interesting to see that Kymar is doing this much damage, but that's because he has the smite on there. Now let me pull up the website here. So here we go on Hell Hades website for Arbais, and they give her a 4-star rating overall. I kind of agree. You know, takes a lot to be a 5-star. 4-star overall. Spider 2.5. Fire Knight 1. I agree. Ice Golem. Hard mode Ice Golem. I would actually give her a 4 in hard Ice Golem. And I'm going to show you the hard Ice Golem. It's on my list here. Actually, it was next. So we're going to jump into hard Ice Golem here in just a sec. Doom Tower. I guess you could really just put her on any team. I mean, if she can do a lot against all these champions. You know, just the whole fact that she reduces damage and that she's decreasing speed is so essential to her, right? Very important. Clan Boss, Hydra. Yeah, she's good in Hydra. Iron Twins. So we see this. Cool. So, oh, and we did what? So they're suggesting intimidating presence, brimstone, and all that stuff, and I actually didn't go with that at all. So really interesting that I went my own path and the website's saying something else. You know what I mean? I went with the temporal chains and all that stuff. Now let's go into the hard ice golem here, right? Now, I don't really run Ice Golem. I know a lot of people just don't really do it. There's not too many great sets here. However, they recently kind of reworked some of these sets. Retaliation is a 2-piece. I'm not really keeping any Retaliation right now. I should. Would be nice if it was like a 15% to counterattack, but also like a 15% attack increase as well. Would be nice if they did something like that. I think they boosted up the reflex, but cursed is the reason why I would be running and doing any Ice Golem stage, right? You want to get that cursed set so you can place Hex. It's really helpful for a lot of people. So I have her on the team here. And let me show you what I've got going on. If it's even important at all here. Okay, so on the first round, so she's not going to Metamorph. She gets to the third round, so she gets to the boss, and she's going to Metamorph right away. And she's going to stay in that form because, again, because of the decrease damage to all the teammates, right? And because she can place that HP burn. HP burn is what you need for the hard Ice Golem. When you face the Fire Knight, you need to have freeze debuff for Fire Knight, HP burn for Ice Golem, right? You got to burn this guy. I think it makes him slow down, or it hurts his minions or something. I don't know, but putting it on auto seems to work. And the reason I have Krokmar here is because he also is doing a lot to decrease the boss's attack with his passive. So he's reducing the boss's accuracy and attack. But there's also Newt here, which is very nice to have. A lot of bosses are based on attack, and Newt has a decrease attack debuff. So combined with the decrease attack, Arbais's 20% damage absorption, Krokmar decreasing the attack, and also Duchess having a 20% decrease to AoE abilities. So there's a lot of mitigation to attack here, which is very useful, and you really do need that when you're going up against the hard Ice Golem, because he just slams on you randomly, and it just will wipe you somehow for some reason. So let me zoom ahead a little bit. All right, we're about to finish off this wave, and then we're going to be at the boss here. And you'll see Arbais. She's going to Metamorph right away, get her abilities off, try to HP burn everybody. Great. Okay. Get that right. So I open up with Newt's decrease attack. You saw that he did his A2 essentially. Now the boss is, just going to be super weak. Decrease turn meter as well as A1. And then Krokmar, pay attention when Krokmar goes. He's going to be right here. Reducing attack, accuracy, and defense, because Krokmar is in a cruelty blessing. Very nice to have. So he's going to be always reducing defense no matter what. Arbais again with the decreased speed and the HP burn. So very nice combo to have. You have these champions. I'm sure a lot of people have Duchess, Lydia, and Newt, right? A lot of people should have Duchess, Lydia, Newt. And then if you have Arbais because you're watching the video, try to put them all together, and then you could really fit someone else in for Krokmar, right? So I hope this combo helps you guys figure out a hard Ice Golem 10. And I don't have that many. I really don't have that many great haul bonuses for hard Ice Golem at all, right? So I barely have anything. If I was to do anything and get any more, yeah, it would be like ignore defense, speed, accuracy, stuff like that. So if you need any ideas for Ice Golem hard. All right, so pretty easy so far. And then also here's the taunt and the stone skin. It's not really going to do much because the boss is going to AoE regardless. And if you want to see how I built Krokmar, go check out my Krokmar showcase video. It may be a little outdated. I think it was like my third or fourth showcase, and I wasn't really understanding everything about them. So a lot of things that are in that video are kind of fresh when I first got him, and after using him a little bit longer, I've come to understand more about him, right? But Krokmar is really solid for a Spirit Affinity HP champion. Arbais though, doing a lot of work, keeping us alive. We got all these debuffs on the boss. Before I put her in here, I wasn't able to beat this boss, right? He was just doing way too much damage to us. There we go, with a 4-minute, 43-second, not bad. Arbais doing quite a bit of damage. And also, he is absorbing that damage there too. So really nice to see Arbais helping out the team. Speed lead, I forgot to mention, is really nice to have too, that 25% in all battles. So she fits basically anywhere. That's what I love about her. She fits just about anywhere in dungeons and all that. So there is the hard Ice Golem, right? All right, now let's move on to Sand Devil here. So got a couple more I want to show here for you guys, but Sand Devil, right? Last night I was messing around and I actually was able to pass stage 18. I think I had like a 20-minute time on stage 18 when I first did it. Just like stage 17, it's like 20 minutes. And I put Arbais on the team with Shogger, and they're able to get it done, right? I don't understand how. However, there is a high chance of failure here. So if anyone could, like, let me know what could be done better here. I have the cleanse with Kaja. She's got increased turn meter. My Kaja's really fast. I think it's great to have her on the team here. But sometimes the boss just wipes me out, right? So this run should be about a 4-minute, like a 2 to 6 minute time, if I can pass it. Now there's a high chance of failure. I was seeing it fail a lot last night, but also seeing it succeed, and that's all I could hope for, is at least a small chance of success. Now I'm going straight into the Metamorph, and I'm staying there, and I'm going to be on just taunt duty, right? All right, so let's go ahead and run it. Again, there's a chance that this does fail, so if it does, I apologize. I will try again. See how it goes. Now, she's not really, like, essential for this in any way at all. I just have her here for the turn meter, the speed lead, but also the taunt, and then the decrease damage to allies, right? So she's just helping in, like, a passive way. See right there, Kaja may have died if I didn't have Arbais on the team. And I understand there are teams like, hey, why don't you use what's her name? The epic, the one epic that revives Ninja. You know what I mean? I know you're talking about, why don't you use her and Ninja? I've tried that. I've tried it all. I put Ninja in some, like, survivability, all that stuff. It just doesn't work for me. I need to get to stage 24, 25, and then maybe try it. But I'm stuck down here on some of the earlier stages. Now, it doesn't look too great right now. There's a chance that we really do die here, because by now, the boss's HP should have been way lower than it is. As long as Kaja can continue to like heal up her health and all that stuff and get extra turns, then we'll be fine. But the boss is actually about to go here, unless Kaja can revive, and Kaimar or Shagar can come in with the... no. So this is a fail right here. Ooh. Alright, so I don't know why Chagar just did the A2. I should have that turned off so that he can only prioritize the A1. So this is going to be a fail. Let me try this one more time. So here I got Chagar. Just going to turn it off. It would be nice to have, but I'm not going to be landing any poisons with him when everyone else is hitting the boss anyway. So, try this again. So if I'll know this is a good run if the boss's HP is down around here by the 4, right? In just like a few seconds. But if it's a bad run, you know, like a slow run, then the HP is just gonna be sitting up here for a while. So here it goes. Okay, the boss is asleep. This is good. However, I'm not really chunking the HP down like I'd imagine. A little bit of better go at it this time than the first run. I think that has a lot to do with Shagar getting the A1 off more times. Extra turns. So getting those extra turns on Newt, very important. Another extra turn, so that's awesome. It would suck if Kaimar has the reset abilities. If he resets the abilities before Newt gets his off again. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit, but I've already mentioned to you, you know, why it's important to have, for me at least, Arbais on the team until I can figure something else better out, is that she's going to mitigate the damage you all do, and we all died. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna cut the Sand Devil stuff. I'm not gonna do anymore, but again, this team can win. Very low chance. Sand Devil just sucks, if you ask me. Alright, but yeah, do Sand Devil at your own leisure, at your own expense. Let's move on to Clan Boss. Okay. Clan Boss. I actually use Arbais in my Clan Boss every day. She is in this. She's in the team every single day. Okay. This is not a bad. Definitely not a bad affinity to go up against. Let me buy some. Get 3 hours. Let me buy a key. I'm not gonna finish the run on that difficulty, because I've already keyed Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare. But let's jump in here and just show you a little bit of what's going on, right, with Arbais in Clan Boss. Again, it's the same thing as before. If I'm manualing it, maybe I'll go back and forth between her first and second form. But since I'm not manualing it, I'll just let her metamorph and stay there. The first thing I'll do is throw up the HP burn, right? HP burn, and then I guess the Roar of the Mistwood is something that she should just be doing it whenever, right? But having that HP burn is very nice to have for her. And unfortunately, the boss does not get the decreased speed buff. But you're also reducing the damage. Again, there's that reduced damage to all allies. You're getting HP burn and leech and a lot of healing, right? A lot of healing here. With the first form, if you want to use her in the first form, she is also great there because she can provide that increased attack or increase in accuracy. Now Razafar, he's going solo without the increased attack buff at all, the whole time, right? But other than this one ability, you're not doing any damage with her, right? You're doing no damage with her against the boss. This is doing nothing. You may steal the buffs that are on him. He might put the increased attack on himself, I guess. Then there's there's this, but you're not able to land this at all. So personally, for Arbais against the clan boss, you're going to want to go with her alternate form, use the HP burn, provide support for your champions, all that stuff. It'll go a long way. So let's go ahead and jump into this. I'm not going to finish this run, but I just want to show you some of the damage she does. Unless maybe I'll finish the run. Just show you how it works. Now, you could say, why don't you just throw up the increased attack on Razavarg and then alternate? Yeah, you could do that. I think I was doing it at one point, but it didn't really make much of a difference. So if you wanna open up with her increased attack and then do the Metamorph, go for it. You know, not a big deal. So the boss does have that increased attack buff here. Oh, and you see I got Krokmar again. So a lot of these teams are very similar. I use a lot of the same champions for a lot of different dungeons and places in the game. Krokmar again, I love using him for his passive decrease ability there. Decrease attack, decrease accuracy. I think he's already done decreasing the defense as much as he can at this point. But then you also have Newt coming in with his A3, which decreases the defense as well, which is something I never paid attention to until now. So you got two ways that you're decreasing the enemy's defense, with Krokmar and with Newt. So very nice. Almost 100,000 on the A1. I mean, not even crit capped, just landing some damage there with Arbais. Lots of damage. There it is again. Now, once I have her fully booked, again, I don't have the second form completely booked all the way. Then she'll get back around to all of her abilities a lot quicker. Let me see. Oh, I want to see the A2. I don't know if the A2 is all the way booked or not, but the A3 needs one more or two more books. I think I can get her cooldown down one more, so she can get right back to the stone skin a little faster. Now, I did have Emic on this team as well recently. I took Emic off. I think Emic is great, but there was no HP burn on the team at the time, and I thought, okay, well, Arbais does that. So now we have like all of the essential buffs that we really need. We have decreased attack, we have HP burn, decreased defense, weaken. The only thing we're missing here is poisons. Now you could really get away with getting poisons if you were to put, like, let's say a poison set on Lydia, or if you just use a poison champion. You know, it's up to you. Let me go ahead and skip ahead a little bit. All right, so we're a little further along in the fight here, and 36 mil in 16 turns. Now, a good way you can identify if your team is actually doing a lot of damage or doing good against the boss is if you look at the turn count and you look at how much damage you've done. You want to be at least double the turn count, right? So 15 turns in, you want to be around 30 million damage. Now that doesn't exactly mean that you're going to get a 1 key damage on Ultra Nightmare here, like how this looks good. The boss, once I get to like turn 25, I mean, Razavarg's going to die, right? By turn 25, I may have about 50, 60 mil on this boss, and Razavarg dies, almost everyone dies. Getting to 70 mil without Razavarg would be really difficult to do. So, yeah, I'd like to have the decreased attack on the boss at almost every time, every instance if possible. But as you can see, we're not even at 20 turns, and I'm over 40 mil. Okay, Razavarg died just now at turn 19. That is because, of course, we are fighting the wrong affinity. But I would still say this is a good 2-key, right? And I've had to do a 2-key yesterday. I think I had to 2-key the boss because I wake up a little late, and the boss is already in like a force affinity, mode right here. Now, let's just finish this out, though. I think we're going to get to like turn 26, 27, and then we're going to die. Which is still great damage for this. But without Razavarg, we cannot get to 70. Now, you could obviously switch Razavarg out. He's not essential. He's not the, most needed champion here. You could put someone else in. You could put maybe a really good Void champion will do. But this is what I got. This is what I'm working with. I like to use new champions and see how they work in Clan Boss. Not trying to break any records, but just, changing things up. Letting people see new ideas and new options. Because I use this team every day, consistently. Right? Yeah, I could see this ending around 26, 27. So, Lydia's going to go. Then, Newt's going to go. But we're at 50 mil here. Yeah, we're at 50 mil damage. Really nice for a 1 key, right? Now, it does suck seeing that the boss places that decrease attack debuff on people. So I'm sure he put that on Razavarg a whole bunch. So lost a lot of damage there as well. $24. Here comes a big hit from the boss. P-burn. Now, Smite would be nice. I don't know if I have Smite on anybody here. Lydia should have Smite. I don't know why she doesn't have a Blessing yet. But if you're going to put someone in Smite here, it should be Lydia. Maybe Arbais. But, oh wow, actually getting close. Getting real close. I would be really surprised. Now, I know you guys want to see this ending screen here for Arbais. I wonder if I should let it finish. I guess I will. You guys can see the damage Arbais does. Oh, got hit big right there. Let me fast forward here. All right, so now we're like right at 60 mil. This team could almost do it. Even without Razavarg here. Yeah, I'm actually really surprised at this, how close we got, right? It's all that damage mitigation, right? Now, if I had like our Duchess on the team somewhere, that could work too. But then you'd really lose a spot for damage. So she got hit big. I'm thoroughly impressed with how long they're surviving after losing Razavarg and just how long they're surviving in general, right? Around 30, whatever like this, I'd already been dead in other times for some reason. But let's say we get to round 35, 34, 35. I don't know, but I think Lydia will be dead here in the next turn or two. Holy shit, are we about to 1-key this boss? Might be the case here. Taunt and taunt really not doing much here. I guess you can taunt and steal the stun. That's the case, but they're on auto, so I'm not really sure if it's lining up perfectly. But wow. Yeah, so she didn't even have taunt on and the boss still hit her. But I think I'm gonna get a 1-key on this. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I have already before. I've gotten 1-keys on all the affinities because I wake up late and the boss is already, on a different affinity than Void. I almost never get to fight Void anymore. But getting a 1-key on Force is not new to me, but I'm surprised to see it because I usually don't watch this. I usually just do it on auto. Cool. Now we're at the 1-key right now. There it is. There's the 1-key. And Newt coming in with like 4 extra turns. Fantastic. We got the HP burn on. All that. If only we could do decreased speed on the boss, that'd be even better. But we cannot. Wow. I'm thoroughly impressed by this. Can we make it into the 40 turn count? Okay. Let him go all the way, and I will actually just let it finish out here. All right, so around 39, Arbais just died. I was hoping the round would just end. Who just nuke us all, and he might nuke us here in about a second or two. Arbais is dead. I could just end it here, actually. Let me just end the battle, because that's all we're here for, is for Arbais. Now, it could have made it even a little longer, but Arbais, as we see here, she did absorb almost 1 million, almost 800,000 of the damage coming in, right? That is really nice to see. Razabard couldn't absorb that much, so he died early. We get a lot of healing from her, a lot more healing from Newt. I think it's because he heals himself like way over max. Damage-wise, she did okay, but she's not there for damage necessarily. So really cool, really cool. I wish I had a chance to not save the key so I could use it where I need to. So that's Arbais in the clan boss. Okay, hope you guys could find that useful for yourself. Hydra, I do think I used her. Have I used her in Hydra? That's clan boss. Have I used her in Hydra ever? I was. I'm not even gonna show you guys Hydra. I couldn't care less about Hydra, but you can use her there, right? You can use her in Hydra. For that speed lead, this is a weird team I had going on here, and it wasn't even that good, right? Hydra, that's at your own use there. Now, I used her against Amus. Now, this is one of the last few I'm going to show you is Amus, and then I'm going to do a little bit of arena for you guys. This video is quite long. So here against Amus, now I do suggest you go watch my Amus video. I actually uploaded a Amus defeated video a few days ago, like about a week or so ago, on me beating this boss and how I did it here. For starters, you definitely want to manual this because you can't set up an auto team. And if you're using a mythical, the boss does some certain things to you that he doesn't do it anywhere else. So you can actually avoid being put on a stun or a sleep when you have a mythical. The biggest thing that the boss does to Arbais is he can manipulate when and how you do your Metamorph. Now for this opening move, obviously you're gonna boost up the speed, boost up the accuracy, all that, and go with this. I'm not even gonna beat. I don't think I want to beat this boss, to be honest. But you want to place with Python. You want to go ahead and place the block debuffs because the boss might come in with a stun, and you can really avoid that here. Gonna increase the speed here on everybody. Trying to get this reduce healing, but I've come to find out in the comments someone mentioned the reason why Skull was not placing the heal reduction is because he needs to counter. He needs to do the double hit again. He needs to proc his multi-hit. And he's only doing it once half the time I go in there. But if he does it a second time, then the heal reduction will land. So now she's fast enough that she can get ahead of the boss. Actually, the boss came in with that ability, I think. So I guess the boss did not do the stun, right? So he may have done this, but for some reason he didn't. Okay, the reason the boss did not open with his stun ability is because I purposely did not place any decrease attack, decrease defense, anything on the boss. If you are placing a decrease attack, weaken, anything like that, then the boss will use this ability and remove those. But since there was nothing like that on him, he is going to just use Lunar Storm, whatever it is. Now, I have a chance to Metamorph myself, and then I'm going to place HP Burn on the boss. And now the boss is going to come back around, and he's going to Metamorph my champion for me, which is good because I want him to do that in this case. Here, I am going to just, I guess, do Hex, right? Now, he has almost no choice but to use this ability, even if there's nothing for him to do here. I don't see him doing this ability. Um, yeah, as you can see, if I were to do the A1 from Uko, I would have placed decrease attack. But that's why I did the A3 instead. Let's do block buffs and decrease accuracy. Can I get a heal reduction? There it is. Actually, no, it didn't. So I just did a double hit with a Skull Lord, and he didn't land the heal reduction. So now I have Arbais transformed again. This would be a good chance for me to remove any buffs that the boss has. If I had a heal reduction on, then the boss would have had removed it and placed a continuous heal instead, and I could have just taken it off with Arbais there. Why am I getting all these extra turns? I don't know why. Let's do a decrease attack. Now here's a good time when you can place these decrease attack, decrease defense, is when the boss is in his second form. Or is he? No, I guess he's not. I thought he was. I thought he just was. Here it is. Okay, that's my bad. So either way, the boss is now in his second form, and we got the Metamorph going on. Let me see if I can do some stuff here. So he's really messing us up, but I do have Cleanse, 2 champions that can cleanse, 2 revivers, decrease attack, and while he's in this eclipsed form, this Metamorph form, this is a good chance for you to place decrease attack, decrease defense, weaken, all that stuff, because he doesn't have that ability that removes, or does he? I guess he does. What the fuck am I talking about? Don't listen to me, guys, because I clearly don't know what I'm saying about all of his abilities. I only beat him like once, but I feel like I don't see him using that ability. I have like never seen him do this. Also, I don't remember if he can be put a decreased speed on him. I don't remember if you can do that. Well, I guess not, because he just attacked and it didn't work. Let's do a block buffs. Didn't work. I don't know why I'm actually missing right now, but let's keep this going on. I think when he's in his Eclipse form, that's a really good chance for you to start placing as many buffs on him as you want, which is strange. Now he's in his base form here, and let's go with our bias with the turn meter boost. Don't need a cleanse now. And can I get a heal reduction? Still no. So Skull Lord's great, but he is a very unreliable champion for heal reduction. You know, and there's other champions out there that can do it better. I understand. You know, don't worry. But this is what I used, and I think if you have these champions, that is a good chance to, you know, good team to build. You have to manual this regardless. Just about. Go ahead and do this. Now I'm not getting very lucky on this fight, to be honest. Increase attack. The reason I'm not getting lucky is because of the Skull Lord is not landing his shit at all. And we're like 6 minutes in and he hasn't landed 1 heal reduction. That's so fucking bad. Right? That is terrible. So he metamorphed her, which I don't even mind. I actually like when he does the metamorph to Arbais. Like, it doesn't bother me. But I'm not landing any of these debuffs. Let's see, can I land this? Because the decreased accuracy is on everybody. Anyway, I just wanted to show her against Amus, and this is just a snooze fest. You can go watch my other video where I already fought him and beat him and all that stuff. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish the fight here. I've already beat him. Go watch that video if you want to see more on that. I think she's a great option against him regardless. Still use her against him. I'm gonna jump into Arena and finish it off with Arena here. Live Arena is not open. But see, I don't really like to fight these easy teams. I like to fight teams that are over 300,000 power at least. That's usually my thing. Um, so here's the team. Here's a really good team. So you can have, like I said, you can have Arbais with Wukong and with Kaja, right? Now Wukong automatically you need to have Ultimate Death Knight with him in most cases. Now in this case, I have Arbais coming in with the let's see. So Arbais in Arena, definitely gonna have her use the A1 or sorry A3, A2, and then she can do whatever else. But this fight should be over in like the first few turns, right? So I'm increasing the accuracy and attack of Wukong, right? This is all to accent Wukong's abilities. Normally, I would just steal the increased attack from Duchess, right? But in this case, I can just bring it. And also, with the Stone Skin, let's see Arbais here. She's going to steal all those buffs, or she removed them. I should be doing this in manual. Now we're going to come in with the Cleanse. I get all these extra turns from Kaja. Really nice to have. And they are petrified. You see this petrification? Because all of that, they were all attacking my champions who have Revive on Death, and they all got petrified. So really good showcase of that ability. Now I'm going to come in here and hit a Kyoku. See if I can do as much damage as possible. It really doesn't matter what I do here against this team. I mean, there's no reason for me to Metamorph in this instance, so I'm going to come in with the A1 and try to block some of their abilities, but it did not work. Get the extra turn. Come in with the A2 on Ultimate Death Knight here. There it is. Okay, really nice to see. I forgot to also mention the reason you want to get the Master Hexer Mastery is because you can take a 1-turn block active abilities and make it a 2-turn block active abilities. Really insane ability that she has, placing all this stuff on everybody. So the 2-turn Stone Skin on herself and a 2-turn block active abilities on the enemy with those masteries. Should have mentioned that earlier, but I just forgot. Let's steal some things from everybody. Remove them and steal now. Well, couldn't steal anything, but she can't even revive anybody if she had the ability on cooldown because I locked her out for 2 turns. Get the extra turn here again. Man, Kaja is just popping off with these extra turns. It is insane. There's a team I would just easily beat on manual anyway. I'm sorry, auto. I don't really fight super easy teams, but I'm not that far up on Classic Arena right now, so I don't have many options for fighting tough teams. But not only would I use Arbais with Ultimate Death Knight and Wukong, I would actually use Timid and Arbais here as well. So I want to give this one a bit of a showcase. Now clearly there's a Rotos there. It's not the best option to go in without an Ultimate Death Knight, but I don't really care. So let's just do it, and we're gonna get the increased speed again. So everyone's gonna get pushed up to the max, and they're gonna get the increased accuracy and increased damage. So now I have increased accuracy on Timid to use his A2, where sometimes I might miss, right? Now, unfortunately, we see that Rotos has this protected buff. However, since I have Kaja on the team, I will still get that second turn regardless. Because with Timid, you have to remove all of the buffs on the enemies to get an extra turn. But Kaja on the team will allow you to do it no matter what. So here we're going to get the feeders and the stuns and all that stuff. I'm going to come in here on Pythion. Got to nuke his ass, getting 250,000 damage on everybody. I guess it would be a good chance to, like, let's say we Metamorph, right? And we do this. Rotos isn't going to get a turn, but whatever. I would like to fight stronger people here. Here's a blender team, some team that thinks that they're going to come in and nuke everybody, I guess. They might be fast, but they're not going to nuke and beat everybody here. Ooh. Get out sped. Alright, so here we go. Seems like this could still be difficult to fight because they come back alive like a million different times out of nowhere. And for whatever reason, like Skull Crown here, she's hit so hard. Yeah, let me refresh this, see if I can find someone stronger. Because, I mean, I wasn't using... Ooh, strong team. I wasn't using Arbais against all these other teams I was fighting, but you can see here, I go up against strong teams, as strong as I can find them. You know, Taras, here, all this stuff. Commando Percy. Let's see, who can I find that's gonna be tough to beat? Yeah, let's do this one. Put it on auto. Shouldn't be difficult. You can even pair Arbais with your other mythicals. You know what I mean? So I sometimes do pair her with Frolny. If you want to get a better understanding of like me using her in arena, go check out some of my live arena videos. I use her like in every live arena video that I do. There's the petrification. There's the block active abilities. I landed it on Mithrala as well. Really nice to have because it sucks when Mithrala hexes everybody and then petrifies them as well. Nice. Now, Arbais could Metamorph whenever she wants. I'm surprised she hasn't already. Cool. But yeah, I hope you guys have got a better understanding of Arbais from this video. And, you know, if you've been sitting on her, didn't know what to do, you know, give her, you know, pull her out of the vault. I don't think she'd be in the vault, but put her on your team. Use her in one of these places, you know, Faction Wars, Iron Twins, Hard Ice Golem, Sand Devil, if you can get it to work. I couldn't, but I know I could get that team to win sometimes. Clan Boss, I love her in Clan Boss, Arena, and then Amus as well, right? So get her running on some teams if you can. And let's see. We go back to, where is it? So I was saying you could put her on the team with Frolny. So this would be an annoying team to fight, right? Right here. Just throw this in here. This can be the last fight that I'm going to do with her, guys. I hope you did enjoy the video, though, and of course you found some new way to use Arbais. If you have, if you liked anything about the video, leave a comment below. Let me know how I could do better or what I could do next, right? But also, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, consider subscribing. We're going into 2024, and I want to keep making videos, right? And I take a look at the amount of views I get on a video like the day after, and I'm really astonished by how many views a video of mine is getting right now. You know, I guess it really depends on the content, right? Because I uploaded the video about the new upcoming legendary that's coming out in January. It's that Player did a teaser on, and it's obviously going to be the first time we get a free lizardman login champion. Literally, the new champion is going to be a lizardman, right? We haven't had a lizardman login at all yet, but that video doesn't really get too many views. I guess people are not interested in the super short, but also they're not interested in the basic like reaction to a teaser because everyone else was doing it. But you know, I still wanted to get my first impressions out on that, so it's no biggie. But then I upload a video like this or like my account takeover, and that really surprised me how much you guys are interested in seeing that, right? But I'm excited to let the channel grow and to, you know, find some more meaningful things to make content on throughout the 2024 year. All right, let's finish up this fight here. Not much commentary on the fight, but Arbais doing her thing. I'm not sure the parameter for which it makes her metamorph without me doing it manually or without me making her preset do it. But she kind of just stays in this first form the whole time, right? And this fight is probably not going to complete unless I take over, because Frolny needs to get out of his armor and start nuking motherfuckers, right? So he needs to start doing shit. Oh, I did take it. I took that. Let's see. All right, here we go. So I just got a kill with Frolny there, just boosting up the damage. I mean, Arbais putting in some work here with the petrifications and all that. Let's see if I can speed up more. I just have to finish this off with Frolny. Can I lock you out? Hell yeah, locked you out. And I think it's the first time that the sheep has actually been placed on us there. And here comes a big hit if I can. There it is. Bam. So I think Frolny is just about maxed out with his passive. You need 5 kills with Frolny to get his passive maxed out and let him do as much damage as possible. There it is. 84,000. Got that crit off. Amazing. So not really the best team to fight up against, but you can see here, Arbais doing a lot of healing, and a lot of mitigation of damage. But hey guys, again, thanks for tuning in. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks.